Hello there, back in the saddle farrier. Back in the saddle farriers. You might be a farrier. Back in the saddle followers. How you all doing? So I'm actually just sitting here, just waiting for the farrier. Got the new horse over there. I'll just turn it around. No, I can't. Not really up to date with technologies yet. So we're just waiting for our farrier because we have the new horse here, Gilou, and she is having her shoes off. I'm really excited about it because we like our horses to be barefoot. And I was coming on just now because I want to talk about the invite that I have been given to give a talk to the Colne Valley Riding Club. I'm sorry if you can hear my little doggy panting more than what you can hear me talking. Like a lecture type demo. And so I thought, well, if I came on and did a little video about it, not only can I tell you guys about it, but I can also start to gather in my mind exactly what it is that I want to talk about and why, and what I'm hoping to share with the attendees there. So, as many of you know, I've been a sports massage therapist for 17, 18 years or so. That's Apple having an itch behind me with her, and I have treated her blooming, bless her, feathers again this morning. So massaging horses, sports horses, for a long time. Anyway, who cares about time? And what I have been able to do over these years is to recognise that it is so much more than about muscles. And of course we often talk about the horse's spirit, and this came to light more for me yesterday, and again I was thinking about the talk that I'll be doing for Colne Valley Riding Club, and there was a post on the wonderful Facebook that I've actually really limited myself in time to be on, but there was a post on there asking about how people choose their stallions and how a lot of the stallions seem to be graded now, even if they have a dish, or they might still be graded lifetime. And my response, and again I don't really respond very often to things on Facebook anymore, but my response was in regard to the horse's spirit, and to me that seems as important or level with I'm not with conformation. So what I'm saying is that obviously if the horse has got 3 legs, it's got off conformation, but if the horse has got good conformation and there might just be one little thing or something that doesn't quite sit right for some reason, wouldn't suit your mare, for instance, has a very short stocky neck or something like that, obviously we have to look at these things and look at the mare that we're breeding with. But ooh, all right there, Belle, go away, lassie, go away. And the reason why I said about the spirit is because I don't know if you guys know this, but you can test sperm and you can see how it's moving and things like that. And the stallion, it's come out that there must be proven papers, because the guy that was talking about this breeds a lot. I think he's got 40 stallions at his yard that he breeds from, so he knows his shit, that's for sure. And he was saying that if you have a happy stallion that has lots of turnout, isn't confined to a stable, has a good important job to do that he loves and wants to do, things like that, then the sperm is going to be happy. And I found that absolutely incredible. So I put that on the post to be able to talk about spirit again and how important spirit is in the horse. And so when I'm massaging, I'm not just massaging like a lump of meat or anything that I could kind of relate it to, say like a heavyweight boxer, for instance, but not one that's laying down. You try massaging something like that. It's not only the physical upon ourselves and upon the being that you're massaging, but it is also the spiritual side of things, which might be a bit airy-fairy for people, but it's the only way that I seem to be able to work now. When I first started massaging, the course that I did made me study in such depth every muscle group, every tendon, every ligament, every bone, every part of the bone, the nerves, each nerve, the foot to such an extent, although I didn't really appreciate the foot when it comes to massage until recently when I just done the barefoot trimming course. But and what happened to me was that I ended up seeing these magical animals that I'd been in love with since a 7 or 8 year old suddenly turn into like a mechanical object, and that worked very well for me at the start of my equine massage career. And I was still very into racing, show jumping, even hunting to some degree, national hunt, you know. It was and then after a few years I suddenly started to realise that I would never ever be able to look at a horse and see it for what I had always previously seen it as from a young girl, just this magical animal that lives on our planet that will be our friend, and you know, and well, that's what I thought. I didn't think I would ever be able to see them like that again. And actually what happened was I was a guinea pig for somebody that was training to become a equine learning facilitator. So, you know, it's quite a big thing now. They take people who have PTSD or children with ADHD, this kind of thing. Anyway, I was a guinea pig for this girl, and what happened to me there was incredibly profound. I turned to look at a herd in a big open field, like bigger than this field, I suppose. After doing some meditation and some grounding techniques and things like that, which I was pretty much into anyway, so it wasn't until I turned to look at the herd that this overwhelming thing just came over me that I had always just taken from these sentient beings. You know, even to just go and catch a horse. I didn't ask if the horse wanted to be catched. It was my mission. The horse needed to be catched, so I'm going to go and ride you, or whatever he was doing with it. And suddenly everything changed. And I actually couldn't drive home. At the end of our session, I couldn't drive home for about 3 hours because I had a complete emotional, like, spiritual awakening. It was incredible. And since that day, slowly catchy monkey, I have been coming back to this point of being able to see the animal for much more than what I saw it was as a little girl. And I've had a few instances where the horses have communicated with me quite clearly via their actions or just via a kind of reaction to the way their vibe is hitting me, I suppose is the easiest way to put it. And the vibration gives me an emotion or a feeling, and then I can translate that into what I feel that they're saying openly. And I've had, actually, the more I think about it, the more I think I've had lots of these things, and this is what I want to start to develop more, is to learn how to tell you guys about it, so not to keep it so much under my hat from my own, you know, it's a bit like, has anybody watched the new Top Gun movie, the new Maverick, when he says, oh, you don't have to think, just feel? It's exactly like that. And what else I loved about that movie was when he said you have to let go. And it was funny actually, because I have a private group, and I just put on Facebook a post in there about lovingly letting go of anything, the past that we live in. You know, our body's been conditioned. Some of us have had some very traumatic instances, and it's left us ingrained with this survival kind of mode that is no good for our body or our minds, and it wastes our time. And so I just put a post on there about letting go, and it's only really when you can let go that you can really start to feel that you can communicate with the horses, because you're living in this here and now as they do. So the reason for this video today was for me to be able to dive a little bit deeper into that, so that when I do my learn to massage your horse at home using the mindful touch lecture demo, which is coming up soon, the more I talk about this, the easier it's going to be for me to explain it to other people, because it's kind of new territory to me to not just take things for granted, like when Maverick says don't think, just feel, and then, you know, everything worked out for Goose's kid, who was then flying alongside Maverick. So it's very, very, very much like that. So I need to learn now how to think and then translate it in my head, so then I can explain it to other people. So I'm really grateful for you guys being there and helping me establish what it is I do and how it is I do it, and what that means for horses in general, or at least the horses that I come across and work with, and the owners as well that I come across and work with. So I'm going to go and get ready for the farrier now to whip these shoes off. So again, thanks for being there, and onwards.